you believe that over the next 10 years, at some point, the Federal Reserve is going to expand their balance sheet once again, you really should be buying Bitcoin right now. So I think we are starting to see that. The correlation between Bitcoin and M2 money supply, it's very, very tight. And I think that's another reason why Bitcoin has done so well year to date, because we're exiting that horrible environment for cryptocurrency.
Excellent points. And I love talking about Bitcoin, the inelastic supply of Bitcoin compared to, central banks printing fiat money. They're able to print, but there's only 21 million Bitcoins out there. And many say it can't be corrupted, there's a debasement of, currency because of all the printing. And like you said, and that it's always about what people's beliefs are. And none of us here are to tell anyone what to believe. But if you are of the belief that there will be more money printing going on, then yes, Bitcoin is like an insurance policy. It's also, you can call an alternative currency or a global reserve asset. There's many words they call Bitcoin. They call Bitcoin freedom. And I think there's definitely room in portfolios, and certainly is in mine, to have some Bitcoins. And it has broken away from the rest of crypto. And I believe it's still holding that high 28, 29,000, that range around there, even though it did come down recently. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin in the future? You think of it as an alternative currency or, a global reserve asset? And any NFTs? Are you bullish on any of the other parts of that cryptocurrency?
Yeah, my brother actually got me into Bitcoin. My brother's an absolute genius.
Wow.
And yeah, so he was the one that sort of got me into it. I originally came at it from like the old traditional finance standpoint. I was like, what is this rubbish Bitcoin? But he really showed me like basically the math behind it. It's just a math equation. It's really like we continue to have this debasement of the US dollar via money printing, and there really can be no debasement of Bitcoin. So it's
Yes.
really just, if you think that there's going to be more dollars in circulation in the future, you know what the supply of Bitcoin is. So it's really just a math puzzle. And what I've noticed with trading the asset is if you look at the correlation between Bitcoin and M2 money supply, and you lag the M2 by about 6 months, there's a 0.72 correlation. So
Wow.
basically, if and when we enter the next environment where the Fed starts printing money, and we already saw a glimpse of this with the banking crisis, they went and started expanding their balance sheet again. That's where you see Bitcoin could be a really strong, high performing asset. So I allocate to Bitcoin every 2 weeks. I just buy a little bit of Bitcoin, and that's really just a long-term investment. And then on the trading side, I really look for that relationship with the M2 money supply. And that I think is the best way
Great
of really
point.
like trading the asset.
I love that point. That's very important to look at in correlation with the M2. Excellent points there.